All right, welcome traders. Hey, it is August 19th. It's a Tuesday here. Coming to you live. We'll do a little market wrap up with you, put some new trades on today. Rolled some covered calls today that I had put in the money to begin with, so they paid off fantastic. And I was able to roll those out for even more credit. So good stuff there. Added a few new trades on ES, and things are going good. So having a good month so far overall. I think the S&P is up a little over 1%. We're up about 4% realized and about almost 2 to 3% in net lick as well. So considering what the markets are doing right now, I love where we are. So I'm going to share some of these trades with you. Let's dive into some of the charts, and I'll give you some of the trade ideas that I came up with today. Also, before we give you those trade ideas, let's take a look at the balances and see where we are on the accounts. So let me share that with you as well. All right, so let's jump in. Here we go, and you can see where we are for the month. So we're up, we've closed $13,943 in realized, which is 4.17%. Net lick is up 78.40, so we've made $7,800 in our P&L increase, which is about 2.34%, which is about doubling what the market's doing this month so far, and we're just past the halfway point. So I feel pretty good that I'm on pace for our 3% month, despite the fact that the market is only up maybe 1% this month and had a pretty good down day today. But I'm still pretty bullish about some things and put some trades on, and I'll share those with you. Just to run through, because we haven't done this in quite some time, my current delta 614, which is 0.18%. So we are slightly positive delta, well within my parameters of what I want to be. So overall, I feel I'm pretty delta neutral despite the type of trades that I have on. So 112 trades, those are pretty delta neutral. They start off a little delta positive, and then as they age, they become delta neutral to delta negative, right? And then I have strangles on, and then we also have a bunch of poor man covered calls. I'm doing the income poor man covered call strategy in this account. And because of that strategy, I'm selling either at the money or in the money covered calls, never out of the money, at least almost rarely out of the money. It really depends on what the chart's doing. But because of that, it's keeping me pretty delta neutral as well. In fact, when I look at my individual trades here, I'm in pretty good shape on most of these trades where they're covered. They're either at the money or in the money. So if the market goes down, we're in good shape. The market goes up, we're still going to make money on the underlying. We're still going to make the extrinsic. So I think we have the best of both worlds going. My theta right now, 1189, which is fantastic, 0.35%. I'm really looking for something in that range, around the 0.2, 0.3% on theta. And we've been there pretty much consistently. 342,510 is the net lick at the end of the day. Actually, it's 342,469 with some of the stuff happening after hours, but let's change it. I don't want anyone getting all too upset. It's going to change before we're done, but 342,469, totally fine. We are up nicely on the month so far, and the BP usage is up at 233,849, which is right around that 65%. We need to put bill into effect. And then we did book a bunch of realized profits today, mainly because I rolled in the money covered calls, which we had anticipated some markets pulling back, and we made over $5,800 today on in the money covered calls. So all that being said, things are going pretty well on the account. Right now for the year to date, the number one strategy that we have is some of my spec trades. So it's a little bit of a mixture. We're up about 25,496 on spec trades, which is mostly some income poor man covered calls on various stocks that we have and a variety of other trades. The number two strategy now, and it's getting close to becoming number one, is the zero DTE. We're having another really, really good month. In fact, right now we are up, we're We're at our third best month of the year, and we're only at the 18th. We generated over $3,000 this month, but we have generated over 25,427 for the year in zero DTE. And this week, I'm starting to size up a little bit more. All right, which usually means we'll take a loss, but we'll see how that goes. And then also, the next best strategy on the board are the 112s. So the 112C, the calendarized version of the trade is up 17,068 for the year. So that's where we are overall. So you got my P&L. You see how we're doing. Things are really good. I really like the way the portfolio's laid out right now, especially being pretty delta neutral with a little bit of a positive bend in it. Markets still look pretty good. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing. I'll turn off the video so you can see the whole screen in front of you, and let's just dive in. So today, let's go to the E-minis. So the E-minis dropped $36.75 today, which is a 0.57% down day. Pretty small drop accordingly here, but considering we were at all-time highs 2 days ago, it's fine. However, so let's look at the things that I'm looking to see, how's the market set up? Well, when I look at the weekly chart, bullish PSAR, the 8 in the blue EMA is above the green EMA, which is the 21. So the 8's above the 21, which is above the 50, which is above the 200. All are rising. The market's rising. PSAR is bullish. We're not overbought right now on the RSI. We're sitting around 62. So overall, pretty positive looking at the weekly. We could pull back and be in really good shape. Now, on the daily chart, everything else still seems to be holding up well. 8's above the 21s, above the 50s, above the 200. Everything's rising. We're actually coming down from nearly overbought levels. Now, this latest high, RSI, did not hit new highs compared to the previous high. So a little divergence there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a pullback happening here. Will it get worse? I don't really know. And it doesn't really matter. I think we're pretty well prepared on this, but broke the 8 today. The 21's where we'll be looking next. And then after that, we'll be down here around the 6,300 level. I think any pullback is an opportunity to buy. I think we go higher by end of the year to at least 6,600 to 6,700 or so. So I think that's where our target is, and we'll be buying any decent dips in the market. All right, let's keep moving. And I actually put today a new 120-day naked put went on. I just took one off for a winner. In fact, that trade is up almost $7,000 this year. That's been a good trade, and I'm just starting to size up, which probably can be a problem for me, but it's been a consistent monthly gainer almost every single month. Every month has been positive when I've had the 120-day naked puts on in ES. All right, let's jump into crude oil. Been pretty bearish lately. I mean, there's nothing bullish about this chart. Look at the weekly chart here, and you can see that this thing has been nothing but downtrending, okay, all the way back to July of 2022 when it hit these highs back in here and here. So again, June, July 2022, and we just continue to be in a downtrend on oil, but it has been one of the best trades. In fact, the oil 112 trades have generated almost $7,000 in cash this year. Only 1 month did we have a losing month. These have been positive all year long. And right now I'm in one that's up 126% because we're just outside of the trap. And we're approaching expiration. So that's in good shape. However, would you be putting anything on right now? Well, my advice is I'm not. Okay, I can't give you financial advice. You got to do what is right for you. But for me, 8's below the 21s, below the 50s, below the 200 on the weekly. RSI is falling. Stochastic momentum's falling and MACD's falling. We just triggered a bearish PSAR this week. Things do not look great on oil, so I'm a little cautious on adding too many new 112 trades. I do have a Strangle on, it's up 34%. Uh, didn't do much of anything today, but we'll see how it goes here. But on the daily chart here on the right, this thing has been downtrending. 8 has been driving below the 21. The gaps are widening on the 8 to the 21 to the 50. All of these are widening, which means we're accelerating a bit to the downside. I don't really want to be putting a whole lot of new bullish trades on oil. I'm not going to get bearish either. I think we're just going to let our trades that we have ride, and then we'll see if this thing starts to put in any kind of a base. But I really think we're headed down towards this 55 level that we were at previously. I think this is where we're going, potentially at some point in the very near future. So this is what we're going to keep an eye on here. That would mean, and Bollinger Bands are opening up, so volatility is increasing. Momentum is heavy to the downside. PSAR is bearish. I mean, there's everything here is bearish. There's nothing positive about oil right now. And you're just riding the Bollinger Band down to 3 ATRs here, which I think we will at some point break as well, or it'll continue to move to the downside. I really think this 55 level, this previous lows here, is something to keep an eye on. And I'm not going to just speculate and just keep throwing money that doesn't look great at this point on. So oil's a hold right now. Gold, also a little bit of a hold. Now, if you're looking at the weekly chart on gold, it looks pretty good. Okay, a pretty defined uptrend. Actually, it's in a bit of a ascending triangle here that if it does break out, which it tried to, but couldn't muster it, something to keep watching. But we're in a short-term uptrend and a long-term uptrend. If we break and come down, this is not the end of the world. This is, I think, an opportunity on gold. The 8's about to cross the 21. That's something to keep an eye on here. I'm not initiating new trades. However, I am in a 112 trade, 32.95, which is way down here around this support level. Okay. This is where my trap is. So if we keep meandering our way down, now if we get there tomorrow, it's not going to be great. If we slowly sell here over the next week or two, this trap is going to start to come into play for us. In order to get there, we have to break this short-term uptrend. We have to break the 50, which we crossed today, so we need some confirmation tomorrow. We're going to have to break the Bollinger Band down here, and then we're going to have to hit this support. So those are areas there. Things don't look great on gold. I think and PSAR is bearish, but the weekly is bullish. So any pullback here, I think if you're looking at the weekly too, you can really identify some areas probably right around this 21 EMA or right around the 3,300 level, which is the same level as the support. So I like that level overall for gold. So I'm not going to put anything new on, but I don't think gold's a bad strangle opportunity here. I think it's getting better and better as a strangle. I think it's also not a terrible 112 here. Let's see if we can find some basing. All right, let's get to some fun stuff now. Let's get to bonds. So bonds had a really nice day today, but they've just been hanging out in this trading range, as you can see here, dating all the way back really to April of this year. It's been a beautiful strangle trade. It's been a great trade. Anytime you get to the lower part of the Bollinger Bands or below the 21, which we just did, it seems to always keep snapping back to the 21. Now, looking at the weekly chart, it's overall a bit of a downtrend, but really sideways consolidation. But we'll call it a bit bearish. PSAR has definitely been bearish on this thing. But I think there's good support under bonds. I like where bonds are. I like the movement today. If the markets continue to be weakened, I think bonds continue to do well. I think there'll be some flight to bonds. I also think the Fed is on the verge of starting a cutting cycle of some sort. And I think that will push bonds ultimately a bit higher as we go. So, what are we going to do in here? Well, we've got trades on right now. So currently, I'm sitting on just a naked put down here, which we just put on 6 days ago. So I like that opportunity. And I think another strangle here is good, but we went to TLT today, and Igor in the Income Navigator service, my trading partner here, he's been running a covered strangle on TLT, which is an unbelievably great trade. I just opened and initiated one as well today. So I sold naked puts down around 84, okay, which is right below the Bollinger Band. So, and right below this support level that we've seen, which is really right around the 3 ATR level. So I sold some at 84, and I sold a few more around 82 down here. So if we get assigned on the 84s, we'll keep the cash from selling the 84s and the 82s. If we get assigned on the 82s as well, then our average will be 83, which is a beautiful place to be long bond. I don't expect it to get there, but I like to play, and we're going to generate over time. We took in 550 bucks on this trade, and I want to say our margin that we used was around $5,500. So a 10% trade in 30 days on this. So I'll take it, especially with the markets a little wobbly right now. Loving TLT with a covered strangle opportunity. I'm initiating it with two naked puts. If they get hit, we'll technically wheel into a covered strangle on this thing. All right, so I like it, like where we are. I think that holds up. And then I think small caps are not a bad opportunity in here. Eight's above the 21, which is above the 50 on the weekly. So the weekly looks good. Bullish PSAR. Everything's firing nicely stacked on the weekly, which means we're bullish. In the short term, okay, we are only at the 8. So it's nowhere near as bad looking as the S&P or the Nasdaq. So we could even pull back a little bit more here, as long as we can hold these previous lows here. We're going to see some more, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and then a higher low in here. I like it. I think it's not a bad bullish trade opportunity. I might even be looking at like a 112 or something along those lines here in RTY. All right, let's get into a few stocks and take a quick look on those today. And I've already given you several trades here today, and let's look to see if there's any more. So on Amazon here, bullish weekly looks really good. Bullish daily, not setting the new highs, but I do like the fact that we filled this gap already. Okay, so this gap is filled. That's done. We created a gap below us. If we fill this gap down here, I'm pretty bullish on potentially getting into Amazon at a lower price. So nothing yet, and you're going to hear that same theme. Remember, not yet. Okay, there's no sense firing on some of these right now. All right, here we go. Nvidia dropping today, breaking below the 8 and the 21. Doesn't look great on the daily. The weekly still in great shape. Maybe getting a little toppy here. You're heading into earnings. We're not there yet. It's a no-go for me. So nothing yet. All right, Tesla. I like Tesla here. Okay, I like it a lot. We really broke through this ascending or this symmetrical triangle here, came back down, retested. It sold off with the rest of the market here, but overall, All your moving averages are converging in here. I think there's a lot of support uh, in this area. And if we look at anchored VWAPs from back here, that's right down in this area as well. And we could even throw on an anchored VWAP from this particular low. So understanding that there's some anchored VWAP support in here, I like Tesla. So Tesla's one that on any pullbacks here, I really like opportunities on Tesla. I think the weeklies look pretty decent. We're above all the moving averages. They're getting stacked and starting to move up. Uh, I think the pullbacks here on Tesla are opportunities. We're in Tesla trades. All right, Meta has been one of the best performing. When you look at the weekly, this thing has just been an unbelievably great trade. Now we have a gap to fill. Maybe we're going to fill this gap. If this gap fills and we can get down into maybe the 50 here around 724, somewhere in that level, uh, this is a good opportunity, I think, to get long on some Meta. So we're going to keep an eye on Meta, just not yet, right? All right, Apple has had a nice move up. This thing is looking pretty decent overall. It's not my favorite stock. I don't love it. I'm not getting in, but if you were, it's still doing great and could continually just move higher. It's a little overbought, in my opinion. I would wait, so not yet. All right, Google. Right, Google looks pretty good. I like the finish today off of our lows on Google. I think this thing could snap. We entered a small bullish trade, just a swing trade on Google here. We'll see how that goes. Now, I don't love MACD rolling over. I don't necessarily love RSI dropping and stochastic momentum dropping. So we could see some more downside on this thing. We'll see how Google performs. The weekly looks good. It's been in a kind of a trading up and down trading range, but overall, it's been a solid upward moving stock. It has its moments. I like it here. So I think we continue to just trade Google on pullbacks here. All right, Microsoft doesn't look great. Nothing here. Palantir, big drop today. Doesn't look great. I would love to see this thing heading down to 100 or below. That would be a blessing. Okay, it's so overvalued. It's stupidly overvalued. Okay, there's no reason to get into this stock here except you're just chasing, chasing, chasing. If you're in it, at these low prices of 40 and 60 and 80, congrats, you're doing great. If you got in it here around, and it filled the gap, but if you got in it over 160, 150, that it just makes no sense to me. I think this thing can go lower. I wouldn't be doing anything with it. Hood was up today, down today. I think overall Hood looks okay on both the weeklies for sure. Looks really good. And the daily here, we're just starting to get some pullback. Again, overdone. No reason for this thing not to pull back decently and give us an opportunity. I think not yet. I wouldn't be in any hurry. Costco. Costco's bouncing off this trend line that it's been on. Sideways action, a bit of okay, not perfect, but you've got an ascending triangle or a symmetrical triangle here. You're bullish. You're back above, the eight's about to break the 21. If we get any kind of a move above this level here, uh, and the eight's above the 21 here, I think we can get a nice run uh, up into this over 1,011 area. I like it. I think Costco is one that I'm bullish on. All right, JP Morgan, just kind of sideways, nothing to do there. AMD pulling back, don't like it here. Let's wait and see. So nothing to do on that yet. SoFi pulling back, not as much as the rest. I think SoFi looks good. I think there's other things to be had. I think you just wait on SoFi here. Uber, love Uber. It looks fantastic. If you got in here, and I've been so bullish on Uber, if you got in here on the crossover of the 8 and the 21 and the RSI, MACDs all moving higher, this thing looks fantastic. I really like Uber. in here. And then we were in Netflix. We got in on this pullback. You got the 8 above the 21, finished well off its lows of the day. It still may not hang in there well, but we'll see what happens on this thing. I'm going to keep writing covered calls. And right now we're at the money. But if the 8 swings below the 21, I'll probably start to go in the money on covered calls, protect my downside a little bit. All right, that's that. A couple other quick things to look at. ANET, I really like ANET. It's got a gap to fill. Let's let it fill the gap. So not yet, and just wait. Oscar Health, I do like Oscar Health a lot. I got into a position today selling naked puts on it. I like where it is. Let's see how Oscar Health does. All your moving averages converging here. I think you just let this thing, maneuver sideways to higher. I like Oscar Health. UNH has had a great recovery. I would not really want to be adding to my positions in here, but I am long a lot of United Health. I think 400 is absolutely doable on this thing, but I think it got a little ahead of itself on Warren Buffett getting in with Berkshire. So give it a little time to just settle. But the 8 broke to 21, very bullish. If we can get a pull back to the 21 and a bounce, I really like where we are on that. And then also Reddit has had a big giant move. There's gaps below. Okay. I think the pullback here is a add-on pullback for that. All right, let's hit the last couple of things here and we'll wrap it up for you today. So, Bitcoin, not having a great 2 weeks here, but it was just at highs. So it's only 5 days off of some recent highs on this thing where it broke the $120,000 plane up in here. So good stuff on Bitcoin. It deserves a little bit of a rest and a pullback. You're getting one now. I think you just stay patient. No sense jumping in today. Wait till this thing finds some support, bounces around a bit on that, and then I think we can get in. But I don't want to get in on kind of this big candle day. Let's just be patient, right? Strategy, not looking so great. Okay. Bitcoin pulling back. Strategy has been pulling back, and then it joined the Bitcoin march lower. It broke what I feel was a very key support level today. Okay. I don't love it here at all. However, it could get a little bit of a bounce. We've played this thing really, really well. In fact, in the trading account, the income, poor man can recall, this thing we've been in it for 82 days. 82 days dating back to what, May 29th. Okay. So we got in this thing in May. Okay. And it's essentially at the exact same price. Oops, let's go to May. I'm sorry, May 29th. Okay. Right around in here. So it just broke the support that we bought in on it. So it's down just a fraction for us. So we're down on the longs, but we have sold so much doggone in the money premium on this thing. We are now up $6,600 on this trade for a 22% return in 82 days. So there's where we are on that. And you can see here's how we've been playing it. Here we got in on 529 with our leaps. We've been selling, at the money, in the money, covered calls for the most part. And we've now generated, through all of these calls, we've generated $15,000 in cash. Okay, yes, we're down 8,000 on the shares. That puts us positive, almost 7,000, almost 22% return in 82 days. On this thing, the stock has gone nowhere. It's actually down. So the stock is down pretty much what it was today is what we're down on the stock. So stock's down maybe 6% overall, and we're up 22%. Loving the strategy. Think it works really well. And we'll leave it there with you guys. I'm pretty bullish on a handful of things, but there's no reason to get in right now. I think you just find what's working. I think to me, it's bonds, bonds, and bonds. The market's still very bullish. Let some things pull back. You're going to get entry points. If you're sitting on a lot of cash, you're going to love any pullbacks that we may have here. They come back to the 21 or the 50 EMAs. That's going to be your opportunity. All right, if you got something out of this video, click the like button down below and let me know if you like this video. It helps get the word out. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, subscribe, get the notifications. We're going to try to keep videos flowing for you guys. And if you want to join us in the Discord and see the trades live, there's a link down below in the description. You can get 40% off the first month. Come see what it's all about. Get some education, learn some strategies. Okay, you're going to make more money in 30 days to pay for months of your uh, membership. So, love to have you if that's something that you feel you would like to do to increase your education. But you're going to be trading in a group of really great people, really smart people who've got plenty of trade ideas as well. Trade in a group, stay in a group, learn, grow yourself, grow those around you, increase your financial knowledge. Okay. And that's what's going to help put you forward here. We're always learning. I'm learning. Everybody's learning. Okay. Every day we want to get a little bit better. 1% improvement a day, continuous improvement is what's going to make it for you. All right. Stay safe out there. Don't jump at everything right now. Okay. But wait and see how things shake out in the next couple days here. I think things go higher. All right. And I think we see potentially a dovish tone from Powell this week as well uh, when he comes to you with his talks. And I think that could also push the market up a little bit more here. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.